So good morning. My name's Caroline Hunt, and I'm the Managing Director of Emerald Starfish. And today it's the start of, or not that near the start of June, but it's June 2023. And I just wanted to have a quick update in terms of the current recruitment issues that you might be facing. So let me, without further ado, share my screen. Right. Hopefully you can all see that. So really there's a just going to look at part one here. It should take about 10 minutes. So we're going to look at the current recruitment market and the issues that we're seeing with SME recruitment, and some ideas to make your recruitment more successful. So it's recruitment is changing quite a lot at the moment. So the main issues that I think are out there at the moment is that talent acquisition has become much more strategic, and I will explain what I mean by that. But it's become much more around long-term strategies to ensure that you're attracting the right people into your organisation. The big boys are doing it, SMEs need to be doing it too. The second thing is, and we're all aware of this, is how much AI has become part of everyday life, but is becoming part of the recruitment scene. And there's some really interesting statistics around its use already, and how you need to kind of look at that in terms of your recruitment process. Thirdly, candidates' priorities are changing. So they've changed a little bit since the last time I did this. So I just wanted to update you in terms of that. And then the final point is not enough suitable candidates. In the poll I ran this week, that was the thing that came up most, was that people were struggling with enough suitable candidates. As a company, we had a super blip just after Easter where suddenly we were getting hundreds of applications for our jobs, and that's dropped right off again. And that's reflected in the news where, once again, the levels of employment have risen, and says the number of people that are available for employment is lower than before. So those are the current issues that I just wanted to have a look at. So the first one is really about strategic talent acquisition and how to attract new talent into your organisation. And I think that this is really important, that all companies are considering this. We as an organisation are doing this far more for our clients to ensure that the messages that are out there are on brand and fit with what the candidates are looking for. So there are some areas that you really need to look at with this. The first of all are the rewards that you're paying. Are they in line with everybody else in the market? You cannot expect candidates in the current market to move for the same amount of money that they are currently on. There's no good reason as to why they should do that. So I really think that's a really good place to start. You need to have an employer branding strategy. So what is out there that candidates can find that explains why you are a great place to work? So this isn't about the products. It isn't about your marketplace. This is about why they should want to work for you, and what people who are already working for you or have worked with you in the past are saying about you. And that's the bit that's really important to get right, because what you don't want is candidates reading about disgruntled ex-employees rather than you having a proper employer branding strategy that really addresses why you're a great place to work. Company reviews, so we've kind of talked about that, so Indeed, Glassdoor, to make sure that you've got things out there that really explain to candidates what they're looking for. And then the final thing, which I talked about when I did the last one of these a little bit, is quiet hiring. So this is because the candidate pool is not large at the moment. Many companies are finding they're really successful if they increase the responsibilities of their current employees, and this is called quiet hiring. So somebody leaves the organisation, and rather than replacing that person, you look at what they're doing at the moment, what their skills and responsibilities are, and you look at how you can fill that or share those responsibilities out amongst your existing team members, selling it as an opportunity for further development and expanding their knowledge within the marketplace. So AI, I think, so the next point is AI, and I think this is really interesting. So some of the data that I've got is that 74% of recruiters think it will eliminate repetitive tasks, and 67% think candidates can be sourced faster than that. So there was a really interesting poll on LinkedIn, not last week, but the week before, that said at the moment, 75% of candidates are using AI to do their covering letter and to create their CV as well. And I think that this is really important because, you know, in a way it should be great, you know, please write my CV with this information to relate to this job specification. We should be seeing much more suitable applications for roles. However, what we're not seeing is the background bit, you know, what really people are like. And therefore, I think it's really important to think that, gone forward now, that if candidates are using AI, how can you make your recruitment more personal? So if you accept that applications are likely to have been generated by some level of AI in terms of the CV and the cover letter, what else can you put in that means that it's the human answering those questions? So you might want to think about pre-screening questions, or having a more in-depth interview to make sure that you're really delving down into what they have actually done rather than what a computer is telling you they might have done. So moving on to the candidate priorities point, an increase in money is still the number one reason why candidates are looking for a new role. It's been this way now for since the start of the year, cost of living crisis. It's really important to look at this. We used to do a lot of work around benchmarking salaries. We still do, but it's much more difficult because the range of salaries that are out there for the same job is much greater, but it's still number one priority. And if you're recruiting, you really need to address that and make sure that you're asking questions like, you know, if your current employer was to counter offer you for this role, would you accept it? You know, are they really looking to move, or are they just playing you off, looking for more money? What exactly is happening here? The second reason is work-life balance. And I think that this is really interesting. So we tend to think that candidates are looking for flexible working and opportunities to advance, whereas actually what candidates are looking for is employee happiness. They want to be happy in their workplace, and they also want to be given the opportunity to develop new skills. So that ties really nicely to the quiet hiring piece in the strategic talent acquisition that we talked about earlier. So that's really important to them. Number three is that flexible working arrangements. They are still looking for not necessarily working from home, but they're more flexible in terms of the hours and the location that they're working. They're looking for advancement, particularly the younger generation. So they obviously they're everyone's suffering the cost of living crisis, but they're looking to, you know, how are they going to get on the property ladder? They need roles that are going to give them that opportunity to develop and develop quickly. And they're looking to develop their skills as well. So, and then the final point, which has been there, as I say, for quite a while, other than this wonderful period over Easter where we had hundreds of applications and it was really easy, is that we don't have enough suitable candidates out there. Candidate applications per job are down year on year. So candidates are more interested than ever in your culture and your employee value proposition, as well as the role opportunities. So you really need to think about what you can do to attract the right candidates to your role. So make sure that when you're writing the adverts, you're writing adverts to attract candidates. You're not just posting your job descriptions. Think about the right time to advertise. Work backwards from when you want to start. Don't try and do it too quickly, but keep the pace of the process up, because you'll lose candidates otherwise. Be really clear in terms of the role and what you're looking for. And look at your longer term strategies around why you are a great place to work. So I hope you found that's interesting. So as I say, I think that the top 4 current issues in June 2023 are that talent acquisition has become more strategic, and you need to look at that. You need to consider how AI is becoming part of the recruitment scene and what you need to do to make sure that you're not employing the robot as opposed to the person. Candidates' priorities are changing in terms of what they're looking for. and still that there are not enough suitable candidates. So I hope you found that useful as an overview. If you'd like to learn more, you can book onto a strategy session with me. These are free. They take around 60 minutes of my time. Things that we can typically look at are things like common recruitment issues, recruiting Generation Z, who are Generation C. You might want to look more at the employer branding and the talent acquisition piece. I can give you information on all of those. And the way you book is you just go onto our website, emeraldstarfish.com, and access my diary there. It's on the front page and you can book some time out with me. So thank you ever so much for your time. I hope you found that useful. So I'm Caroline Hunt of Emerald Starfish, and please feel free to get in contact if you want any help or advice around your recruitment. Thank you very much.